everybody, welcome to my channel. It's Carol here at Oak House Journals. I'm going to have a go at doing Margarete Miller's assignment for week 38 today, and this is part of her collage challenge for 2025. So this is the prompts, or these are rather the prompts that Margarete has set for us for this assignment, and these are my prompt choices. So going through them quickly, the first prompt is an image of water, so I've gone for this one. Something that represents a song or a band. Well, I've gone for a billy goat. Bit of a tenuous connection here between the band or the song, but I'll explain that in a moment or two. So I've got a billy goat for that one. A landmark, well, I've got this iconic landmark here, which is Mount Fuji. Next one is an organic shape. I've gone for a human for my organic shape, and I've chosen two, not sure which I'm going to use. So I've got this girl here, obviously pleased at her hiking adventure. And I've also got this girl here who I am presuming has been wild swimming in this gorgeous lake behind. So I'm not sure which one of those I'm going to use. Probably this one, I'm thinking, as much as I would like to use this one, but we'll see. The next one is a key. So I hope I'm right in this. I believe that at the start of every piece of music there is a musical key, of which this is the musical key. So I will be using this piece of vintage sheet music, and I will certainly make use of that area up there, which, as I say, I believe is the musical key to this piece of music. And I have no idea what it is, but yeah, that's what I'm going to be using. And the final prompt, or the bonus prompt, is a neutral colour. So if I lift that out of the way, I've just got this book page, lovely texture to this. So I'm going to be making use of that, and particularly this side, because of this lovely feel to it. Slightly smoother on that side, so I want to get this texture in. So as always, prompts in front of me. That I've already snipped or cut to my working area. This, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it as yet, but I'm going to fussy cut this lady out. I'm going to fussy cut that lady. I'm also going to fussy cut out my goat, and I am going to do a little bit of fussy cutting, not with that one, but with this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and cut round the trees here and down to the river, and then back up the other side, and you'll see why I'm doing that in a moment. Oh, I should explain why I've gone for a billy goat. Well, I was thinking, as I was choosing my pieces today, I thought of River Deep and Mountain High. And whilst that was predominantly sung by, or made famous by, Ike and Tina Turner, it was also sung by Billy Joel. So that's why I've gone for the billy goat. I did warn you it was a tenuous connection, but that's why I've gone for that one. Okay, so groaning aside, I'm going to fussy cut these images out here, and then I will be back in a moment. So here are the pieces I've cut out. So I've got that lady there, this one here. I've not cut out underneath her arms because I think she'll blend with the water if I decide to use her. There's my billy goat. I've chopped the background off the river scene, and I've got my Kilimanjaro. Didn't do anything with this one. So what I'm going to do now with these pieces is I'm going to glue these two together, and what I'm hoping is that they will almost look like the same image when they're glued together. So I've put a bit of glue on the top edge here, and I'm just going to try and match them up. Obviously a line of mountains there, and I'm going to line up this bottom image with that if I can, and have it looking something like that. So that's what the image looks like with both those pictures glued together. I'm going to bring in my working background and this as well. Bring this in and have it on there. I'm just going to see how much of that I can get in. Obviously the important bit to get in is that bit up there. So if I do that and go over to the left a little bit. Just looking at this, it's almost coming down that line, so I probably would cut away this last line of music there if I wanted to keep that piece. Let's see what it looks like the other way around. If I use it this way round, it gives me some interest down at the bottom, and it also gives me something to ground my figures on if I need to. Okay, so definitely need to get rid of that larger text up there. Don't know whether I'm going to take away that rough edge down there, might leave it in place. Okay, I'm going to take away this last line of music. I'm going to rip it across the top here. I could rip it a little bit more down there and take away a bit more at the top. But for now, I think that's about right, because I think I can't really lose any more of this. So these are the other pieces I've got now to get in. So I've got my goat, I've got my person here. Now I did wonder whether I could make use of that little piece there and have her something like that up there, but she's well and truly going off my working area there. And then I kind of thought maybe bringing in the goat somewhere like this, so it looks like the goat is just peeping around the side of the collage. So that was one option. The other option was to use this lady, and what I thought about her is I could use this music here, pull her down, just have her elbows just slightly above that line there. She is grounded on the music, and it gives a little bit of interest down at this edge. I like her, but I don't like the goat. I think this is the image I have to go with. And if I pull her across and slightly up, then her feet are grounded on these circles down here. There's probably a very technical name for those, which I don't know, so apologies. I'm not a musician at all, I'm afraid. Okay, she needs to go. This one can stay, she's a better size. Bring my goat down a little bit like that. If I go with this composition, I do need to do something about this down here. I'm going to rip it across the bottom here. So let me just move these to one side. I may well do something with this as well. I'm going to reduce it a little bit at the top. Perhaps should have measured this first before I decided to rip it, but I didn't. Lining up the image here with that. Yeah, I'm liking that, which means I can reduce that across there some more. I'm liking how she's positioned, so I'm going to put some glue behind her. Just want her feet slightly off the picture. My goat, I'm just going to leave for the moment. I think I'm going to rip it just above that line there. Now, the decision is whether or not I rip across there or I trim it. I think I'm going to trim it, and I'm going to have a little bit just top and bottom showing. I just want a little bit on either side, just to give a little bit of balance. Almost tempted to take off a little bit more of this neutral background, and I'm taking the goat right down to this corner of the music, like that. I want to take away a bit more of this neutral piece, so let's do some more trimming on that. And yeah, I'm liking how that's looking on there, and if I bring my goat in, my goat will be something like that. Maybe could have gone bigger with him, but I'm happy with him as he is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on the back of here and glue it onto there. I'm going to glue this onto my background piece now. So this piece is glued down to my background or my working area, and I'm just going to bring in my goat now, which I was going to have down here. So that's the final piece to get glued in place. So that's my finished collage for this week, everybody. So quickly going through the prompts, an image of water. Well, that was that lower image down here. It goes up there and behind my hiker here. So this lower image. Something that represents a song or a band. Well, I went with Billy for Billy Joel. Sorry about that. A landmark, my Mount Fuji in the background there, an organic shape, my human hiker, and a key. I went with a musical key down here, and a neutral colour. Well, that's my background piece down and in there. So very simple collage this week. Came together very quickly, not sure about composition, but hey, I've made use of all the prompts, including the bonus, so I'm going to go with that. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye bye now.